Hello everyone and welcome back. We're doing a little bit of everything today. As you got to see me right now, I was putting down some little terracotta pots for our garden friends. The little critters that are starting to come around is warming up. It's finally warming up. I'm starting to see the weeds. This is like the only time that I'm so happy to start seeing weeds. I'm starting to flower and you start to see the pollinators starting to come out. So you know that the ground is warming up. You know it's time to get going and start cleaning up the garden. Finally, I'm gonna start cleaning up some of the things like some ferns and some heucheras and hellebore right now. And just start doing some actually planting some things. That's what y'all got to see me do right now too. I'm thinking of putting out there some boxwoods in those little urns. Not sure yet, but I'm trying it out. And then, I put down the terracotta pots because I did hear some of the frogs out the other day. And I think the kiddos told me, our children told us that they saw some frogs already. So I know that, they're going to pretty soon be looking for little areas to hide too. And I always love to give our little garden friends, the little critters that come around and help a lot, a place for them to be at, especially as it's getting hotter. It's going to get hotter, starts to warm up, and they find places, to keep away from the sun and be cool. So before we get going with our garden chores, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to introduce our sponsors for today's video, which is Hisea boots. That's who's been keeping our feet super dry and comfortable since, I'm going to say, mid-winter. They sent some awesome boots our way, and they're not just, I love the way they look, but they're also very comfortable. That is something that I really love. Of course, most of us would love our feet to be very comfortable when you're out in the garden too, right? Around winter, we had a very crazy winter, a lot of snow, a lot of ice. So they came in handy, but I'm kind of a dork talking about this, but something that is very exciting to me, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to go there and take off the boot. There's like this little notch right here. I don't know is that good? I'm asking Ambrose. I don't know if y'all can see it right there. So this is what I love. So what is it that I can slip it on and off so easily? And the reason I make a big deal about that is because I'm a boot girl, but a lot of times how I have a very thick leg, it's hard for me to take on and off sometimes boots or the way it's going to go in, and these have been just amazing. I'm always in and out of the house taking out the trash, and like I said, it rains a lot here and it's always muddy. So we ruined quite a bit of shoes and boots. And the last boots that I got, they really didn't cut it at all. They actually were really hard to put on and off. Just made it crazy, for me to get things done really quickly and actually enjoy walking out into the garden. And they actually were not, they weren't waterproof, which these are waterproof. You can see they're super dirty right now, but it's keeping me nice and dry. And another thing I wanted to say is that they have an amazing selection of boots. They actually have some with pattern, which I'm starting to think for summer, because they have some with like floral patterns. We'll put them up. I know Ambrose has been starting to also think of getting, I think you were telling me, he's behind the camera, he was telling me he wanted to get some other boots because he likes to go out into the forest and take some amazing photos of birds and stuff. And he's been actually using the ones that he got sent, and he's loved them too. So I just wanted to go ahead and share with you today's sponsor, and a big thank you to Hisea for the boots. And let's get going into the garden. And I feel very secure and safe too in them. I don't slip or anything with them, and that's why I wanted to share them with you. So like I said, let's get going and show you what's been sprouting back up. And I think we should get going with the hellebores right now, because it's time to cut them back. So before I make my way over to the hellebores, I'm gonna go ahead and come and clean up some of the heuchera. Like I said, it's starting to warm up here. Some of the signs are already, we're starting to see weeds pop up already. So the ground's pretty warm, and it's time to start cleaning up. So I don't know if y'all can see from there. There's some tattered leaves. This one died all the way back for us this year. And it's not planted in yet. We actually bought this one around fall. I wanted to bring in more heuchera. So all you do is, if you can see right here, I'll let Ambrose get a closer look. There's fresh new growth right there. And usually, you know, I leave it, if the nights are still very cold, I leave all the old foliage on there. But this one really doesn't have much, so I'm just going to clean it up. That way it can start growing all its new leaves. But yeah, usually the heuchera lastus for us, the foliage is actually in a winter interest for us here. Not this year. It was very, very cold. And I've been walking by here and just looking at it, and it looks really bad. Okay. So let's head on over to the hellebores, which I have them in containers. I'm going to move this out of the way. So these hellebores right here, this container, I have 2 of them, which these guys, this whole container was a spring container from last spring. I loved it so much that I just left everything in there. So what we have in here is hellebore. Look at how gorgeous these are. Oh my goodness. They did not look nothing like this last year. Gorgeous. They're beautiful. But what we're going to do first, because I have them planted with fern, which I think it's holly fern. It keeps its leaves all through winter here. And this is all the shady area. And then I have vinca vine here. And usually all this looks wonderful through all of winter for us. It stays, you know, like evergreen. It's very green and beautiful through the whole winter, but we had a very harsh winter with the snow, so it really damaged a lot of the leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut back. This is a good time, early spring, to start cutting back fern. So I can already see the new growth there. And these are not leaves, they're called fronds. The foliage that you see from the ferns is fronds. So that's what I'm cutting back. I always call them leaves, but they're not leaves, they're fronds. Let's see, what else do I have here? I'm not cutting back anything that is looking good. And you want to cut it all the way back, each of the fronds. Just feels so therapeutic to start cleaning things off. I've been waiting, my goodness, every time I come out here and I'm just looking at everything. I'm dying to clean everything up, but I knew it was still too cold to be doing this. Okay, so next is going to be the vinca vine. Let me see if Ambrose can see that. Oh, and here's the tag. I'll show you this once I get to the hellebore. Just put that there. Okay, so this is vinca vine. I'm going ahead and cleaning off all these leaves. Probably put some moss in there. Let's tangle it up with the leaves of the hellebore. Okay, and as you can see, that vinca vine, beautiful foliage is starting to appear again. And I'm just going to take it and cut it back. This one is a very easy plant to grow. It's a vine. And you know, it spreads very easily. But I don't really grow it on the ground. I grow it. It can take over. So I just grow it in containers. I think it looks beautiful because how it spills out of containers. Okay, so that's it. It'll just start to grow. And that one will give some flowering too, like purple little flowers. And that one actually likes sun. It can be planted in sun and full shade. So it's an amazing plant. That's why I have it everywhere in our garden. I actually ordered more this year. I had to have more of it. So now we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up those hellebores, and I'm turning it around a little bit so I can see them better. Oh, here's the tag that I was going to show y'all. I always keep them because I forget the name of this one. It's called Penny's Pink. She's beautiful. I always seem to go back to the nursery and grab more of these. This one has a very pretty pink. I want to say dusty pink. And then inside is yellow. A pretty green. Look at that, how pretty. Where's the one that has the flower? Look at that one, how gorgeous is that? So this right here is not an actual, the flower. This is actually not a petal, what you see right here. Those are called sepals, and that's what protects the inside, which is, I think is what they call the flower, if I'm correct. But yeah, it's such an interesting plant, and every year I try to find out something new, learn something new about hellebore. But now, I need to look and see, there's a lot of tattered leaves and we need to cut them back. And why should we cut them back? Because that can cause disease to the hellebore, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking for tattered ones like this. And early spring is a good time to start taking those off all the way to the bottom. And I know it looks crazy, but I promise you there's a lot more coming up. There's fresh leaves right here. There's some right there. There's some all the way down there. I'm not sure if Ambrose can capture all that. There's more popping up from down there, from the sides. All this, new leaves. So it's okay. It's going to start just leafing out. Just be careful that you do not cut any of the fresh growth. And you don't have to do this. As long, you know, I'm only cutting the leaves just because they're damaged. That's the only reason. We usually don't have to do this because they don't really get that tattered. Like I said, we had a harsh winter, a lot of snow, so a lot of those leaves ended up getting winter damage. And I'm looking at it right now, and it looks, a little bare. I'm still cleaning off leaves from underneath, but I might fill in with some moss later on. For that, I will have to go to the nursery and grab some from there. Or out back, I know we have some growing too. Okay, I think that's good. And let's see what else. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up. Got to put the tack back in here. So we do have another container with hellebore. Almost the same plants, which it is. It has a hellebore, the vinca, and the fern. But this one has a heuchera. And I want to say this one's wild rose heuchera. And now I'm not going to clean this one up because we do have a Spanish channel. Obsesiones de Jardín, that's the name of it. And I want to go ahead and do another video showing them, showing everyone in Spanish how to clean this up too as well, and talk a little bit about these beautiful plants too. But for the only thing I'm going to do here is the same thing, clean up all this that you see right here from the vinca, and then this right here is the only different plant. Y'all saw me clean up already a heuchera. All you want to do is just take off. I'll clean up a little bit off of there. You just want to lift it up and start snipping away dead stuff. That's really all you do. I'm not going to do it like I was explaining to you. I'm saving it for another video for Spanish. But the reason we don't have that other heuchera in that container, it died on me. I had it on this area right there, and there was a lot of shade. That heuchera, wild rose heuchera, is for shade and for sun, but there was no sun whatsoever. It needs at least 3 hours of some type of light, and there was no light there. So by the time I decided to move it, it was too late. So the hellebores are done. I'm feeling a lot better now that, we're starting to clean up the garden. It's okay to start doing that cleanup that I've been dying to come out and do. I hope it was helpful. The tips on cutting back some of those plants that were in that container. We're going to go ahead and keep going right now. We're going to close the video. Didn't want to make it too long. It is going to start to rain. It's drizzling right now. But we're right now going to finish off with cutting back carrots grass. So you guys will see us in the video that way. What we're gonna do is cut back 1/3 of the grass. I usually don't really cut it back because it always stays really pretty and green during winter for us, but we had a harsh winter, so we need to cut back a lot of it. There is some of it that is not looking great, so I'm probably gonna have to pull some out and go grab more from the nursery pretty soon. So there will be a lot more videos up for you to see soon. A fun one that I want y'all all to look out for is, for me, is super fun because a lot of the hydrangeas are starting to show, you know, they're awakening right now. So that's gonna be one that I really wanna do, take y'all on a little tour of all of them so y'all can see what it's supposed to look like right now as they're waking up, what to do and what not to do with them right now. So yeah, we'll leave y'all here. Remember, carrots grass, if you have some and it has winter damage, cut it back at least 1/3, take out all that ugly, you know, tattered stuff, foliage, and just clean them up. We will see you later.
So that's where my socks went.
Really? Let me share this with you guys. So this is a proven winner socks from Color. Well, who was it? Our friends from Color Choice?
Yep.
Look how cute they are. Showing off socks. Okay, I think it's enough.